This is our summation of our last trip. Really, it's the summation of like the last, whatever,
3 years,
well, 3
4
years.
years.
I've been going up there probably, what, 6 years maybe, but yeah, 3, 4 years.
Hmm.
How crazy is it? It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's down the rabbit hole crazy.
I had a bunch of people ask me what changed me from a skeptic to a believer. And trust me, I'm a believer. Like I said, I'm in disbelief,
The
but
answer is truthing.
ground trooping.
Ground truthing. Going out there and, go with the idea that you won't find something and finding something
Right.
instead.
Yeah. What we discovered was that these things are real, but they do things that seem impossible. That
Right.
should be impossible. The stuff they're doing is impossible. There's no two ways about it. I mean, nothing in the areas we're going in. It's so hard to move through there
Hmm.
that we're moving through there, and somehow these things are managing to shadow us
Yeah.
and get ahead of us and stay off the side of us, and
Without being heard.
without making any noise,
Yep.
without being seen. And then the other bizarre thing was that I don't think I told anybody, but well, maybe I did. That I heard that breathing
Yeah.
last fall, which
Well, I did too. Yeah.
yeah, and it was right here, right at the house, and so we're 3 hours from that location, and I heard like, I mean, it was like I'm
Not a
thinking,
deer.
no, I'm thinking this thing's got to be like a huge animal, and I'm looking around, and I do a 360-degree scan, and there's nothing there. And then later that night, I heard a owl, coyote, cowboy, all strung together, Bigfoot whoop at the end, kind of
Yeah.
thing. That was like,
I heard that too.
yeah, it was. I was down at the corner of the property, and it was really close to me in the dark,
Yeah.
and that got my attention. So, what do you think of Rio, that Utah Sasquatch guy? His last video.
Oh, I loved it because it was a long video, but it had a lot of the vocalizations that we've heard and experienced. So it's like, yes, somebody else has heard exactly what
Blew
we've
me
heard.
away.
Yeah.
It blew me away because I'm listening. This guy's in Utah, and I'm
Yeah.
listening to these. Like in the space of what, 5 minutes, he has like this repertoire of vocals and rock clacking and hand clapping, all this different stuff that we've
Yes.
heard,
Yep.
and other weird things like the
Yeah.
clown horn.
Yeah.
The clown horn. The last time we was up there, we hear like down in
Yeah.
the like no animal that I know makes that noise. And the
Right.
other thing that's really strange about that location is I was going there like 6, 7 years ago.
Hmm.
I wasn't hearing any of these noises. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know how these things do what they do. And frankly, to I was shocked to find out they were real. I mean, I kind of thought maybe you could have Bigfoot, you might have this relic. I thought there was a possibility of that, but what we discovered was that these things are not rare.
Right.
Because I mean, I've been coast to coast, and I've been in a whole bunch of locations, and the majority of intact forests have these things in
Right.
it, whatever these things are.
It's like legends come to life. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it is like a legend comes to life. And there's aspects of it that are so bizarre and strange that if you started like talking about it, especially to people who haven't experienced it, they're gonna be like sizing you up for a rubber room or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm sure you believe that.
Yeah. No. That's why people have to experience it for themselves.
Right. But I mean, the thing is, I've been employed by a couple different states to go into areas and do a census
Hmm.
for either bugs or birds, right?
Hmm.
And determine what they are. And you helped me on some bird census, and we had to know what the birds were.
Yeah.
They believe us on that. We can come out and go, oh yeah, there's 10 of these purple two-headed whatever birds in there. Oh, okay, and they write it right down. You come out and you go, oh, by the way, there's a clan of Sasquatch people living in there. They're not going to buy that.
No.
Suddenly, your credibility just goes right out the window.
Right.
Like, why is that?
Because it sounds crazy, and they think then they can't trust anything you say.
But why do people, I've been questioning, like, why did I think what I thought. Like, why did I think that these things didn't exist? Well, the reason I thought that was because people told me.
Yeah, and there's a lot of judgments like, oh yeah, that person's foolish, or whatever. That person's somehow less than not than rational me,
Well, no, but the thing is, you've got people teaching people, these things are not real, and those people don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
And they keep perpetrating this lie, this misinformation that whatever these things are don't exist, but they do exist. And the thing is, they're kind of subtle.
Oh, extremely subtle.
I mean, they can be unsubtle too. I mean, they can be right in your face, like when
Yeah,
they're
like that guy that Utah guy.
or like the boulder smashing incident that we
yeah.
had. I mean, we've had boulder smashing, a lot of rock clacking. You heard a tree smack the last time we were up there. So the last time we were up there, we had some vocals and a tree smack, and then the dogs once again.
Could see him.
I don't know if they're seeing an ultraviolet. I don't know what's going on, but we're not seeing them.
I'd be interested in seeing what an ultraviolet filter to our camera does.
Yeah, these things are there somehow. They've got to be recordable. I mean, they're making, well, sometimes they make noise. That's the other thing. They seem to be able to move from place to place without like making any noise in the vegetation.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Which should not be possible. That should not be possible for anything to do that. I mean, it's like they're just here, then suddenly they're over there without having like an electron popping out of a energy well or something.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It makes no sense, but it's fascinating. It's a puzzle.
Because they are an enigma. But I can see why people are skeptical. I have tolerance for skeptics. What I don't have is tolerance for the nitwit cynics, which are a bunch of hypocrites. Most of them are cashing in on it. They're making a buck on it, but they're making a buck going, oh, it doesn't, oh, those people are crazy. It doesn't, those things aren't real. And they're not going out to disprove that for themselves.
Right.
Like you can set up all the trail cameras you want, and you're not going to prove that Bigfoot doesn't exist by not taking a photo of it.
Yeah.
Because they don't show up on trail cameras. I mean, they shut the trail cameras down. They know they're there. They're like the perfect creature. Mm-hmm. They're perfect. Like they don't seem to have any flaws as far as being cryptic and being able to evade anything and everybody.
Yeah.
Like I think you could drop off a Navy SEAL team with $5 million worth of high-tech equipment, and I don't think they'd get their hands on one of these things.
Right.
I mean, I think you could be right on top of one, and you could open fire with every machine gun you got, and it's going to be like Schwarzenegger and those guys in Predator, where they shot and the thing, there was nothing there.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Like it's like, oh, this is like Predator.
It's like a real life Predator, except
it's nice.
Except they're not hunting us. Yeah, thank goodness. 'Cause
yeah.
Can you imagine if they were hunting us?
We wouldn't be here.
It'd be scary. I mean, no, you'd never come out of the woods.
Right.
People would go into the woods. They would not come back out if these things were hunting us. So I guess what turned me to believer was experiencing, and I had to. I'm pretty thick. I'm pretty hard-headed. I had to experience several.
Multiple times. He still questioned when I wasn't questioning.
Yeah.
He was still questioning, and I was like, going, really?
Yeah, I've probably experienced a dozen of events now that any one of those events would have convinced most people, and I still have moments where like I second guess it.
Yeah, I know.
And then I have moments where
it's not a coyote.
Right. But then I have moments where I'm like, oh my God, like my mind's been blown. It's just totally blown that this is going on, because like I was roaming around the woods all my life.
Yeah.
It's like almost, it's inconceivable to me now what's going on in the forest. Like it's you can't even put it into words how amazing it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with something that, shh, it's just a caterpillar. Come here.
He's so brave. Protecting us from caterpillars.
You're dealing with something that when you record the vocals, people go, oh, it sounds like people.
Yeah.
Because it does sound like people.
Because it's very people-like. It's like a kind of people. So that's why they sound like people.
They do act like people. They kind of look like people.
Yeah.
And they seem to interact. There's a communication taking place. I mean, they're extremely perceptive. Like, I don't know how the heck they do it, but they know you're going to be in the woods probably before you even think about going there.
I don't know about that. But
Well, they
know,
seem to be-
they're there.
Every
They
time we
know
go,
they're
every time
there.
we go into the woods, they're there.
Yeah.
Like, what are they just hanging out, waiting for us to show up weeks on? Oh, now they. I mean, how do they do that? So I have so many questions.
I know.
I'll have the video up of the bird, the hare that we found.
Yep.
And there you have it, guys. I'm a believer. One of the crazy woo believers. And I can tell you right now, any skeptic that would peel their butt out of the computer chair,
Yeah.
and they just can't go out one time.
Yeah.
You can't do like those chuckleheads did up to Soho. Oh, we went there. It's about 15 minutes. There's nothing. No, you have to invest.
No. That's not research.
No. We went there. We looked around. There was nothing there. They probably also didn't see any bears or cougars or birds. They saw nothing because they didn't spend any time
Right.
you
Right.
know, doing anything there. But if you really put the time in and spend the time in the forest, sooner or later, it's going to hit you. And like you said, it's going down the rabbit hole. Once you recognize it, you're just like, you have to recategorize
Yeah.
everything that you think about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still.
But it makes life really fun, like a fun adventure. You know.
Oh, it's yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
cutting edge because we are peering into places that everybody tells us isn't real. It doesn't
Right.
exist. Like to
Right.
try to figure out what this thing is, what's going on in there. Because let me tell you what, there's plenty going on.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot going on. Okay, so we're headed up there again soon when we get the chance.
Yep.
It's not easy. It's a lot of effort.
No,
A lot of effort
no.
to go up there. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this Utah Sasquatch guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like that. I didn't like it was such a long video, but again.
Yeah, I could like to have the action parts condensed
Yeah, exactly.
from less than an hour and a half. That's my only complaint.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta
But
complain.
Yeah. Oh, there's no complaining about it. No complaining. It's awesome.
So anyways, Sasquatch, Bigfoot is real. It's real.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I've come 180 degrees pretty
180
much.
Degrees, yeah.
Yeah, because I was a bit of a
You thought you had it figured out by theory, you know?
I was like the rest of these idiots that think they know what they're talking about. I thought I knew what I was talking about because I thought, oh, I read these books and these people have told me these things. And then I went out there and I was like, I found out that they're wrong. They're mistaken. They're missing like a huge slice of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
Not a little slice, like 99% of the pie is being missing.
Yeah.
All right, this has been myself, Michael Merchant, and Lady K, the most dangerous woman in Bigfootery.
That's right.
Thanks a lot, guys, for watching, and leave your comments below. And if you're not subscribed, it's free. It is free, and you won't miss anything. And we got some cool stuff coming out. I know it.